is the crossing of the staffs, which means that anybody that is not an officer above may come up to the podium. SHALAM, which means to Israel. So Imajum, which means to stand. Bunyaki Dome, which means to turn and face the east. It's like it's not what it is. This is the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabashamayim, Wadash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakwaka, Tabaa, Ratazayaka, Hayah, I.S.U.P.K, Ba'aratazah, Kawa, Hayah, Bashamayim, Nathan, Lanawa, Lakam, Ko, Yawam, Wasalakanawas, Kwabawaknawas, Kasalaknawas, Kwabawakinawas, Wala'a, Tabayayanawas, Panasaya one, Abo, Hawashayanawas, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Waha'ala, Wahadapar, Lahalamyum, Aman. The Lord's Prayer in the English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. For the Hakat, or the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahushai. Babakashah. Nathananahu. Hakak. La Rapa'ah. Call Makalah. We'll call Matawah. Hakak. La Tahor. Hamatazariah. Hakak. La Hakim. Hamakim. Hakak. Al-Rakawat. Atama Allah. Regorsha. Ba'ashem Yahushai. The water Aman. For the power in the English. Yahweh. In the name of Yahushai. Please give us the power. The power to heal all manner of sickness.
Power to cleanse and to heal all manner of sickness.
And all manner of disease.
The
power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to raise the dead.
The power to raise the dead.
The power against unclean spirits.
The power against unclean spirits.
To cast them out in the name of Yahushai.
To cast them out in the name of Yahushai.
Thank you. So be it. For the blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatha Yahweh. Wa Yahushai. Wam Yaka'ala. Wa Alahayim. Matazabya. Alawap Yahanna. Ha Alawapyum.
Ha-Adawakium.
Hazaranyam,
Hazarunyum.
Ha-Kwatazayanyam,
Ha-Kwatasayarumyum.
Ha-Kayayam,
Ha-Kai-Ayayum.
Wa-Akwakiam,
Wa-Adawakium.
Yahweh,
Yahweh.
Bahashem Yahawashi,
By Hashem Yahweh Shai.
the water Aman,
The water Aman.
the blessings in the English. Bless you, Yahweh,
Bless thee, Yahweh,
and Yahawashi,
and Yahweh Shai,
and Michael,
and Michael,
and the angels.
and the angels.
Commanding General Yohanna,
Commanding General Yohanna,
the generals,
and the generals,
the captains,
and the captains,
the officers,
and the officers,
the troopers,
and the troopers,
and the sisters.
and the sisters.
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
in the name of Yahawashi,
in the name of Yahweh Shai,
thank you.
thank you.
So be it.
So be it.
Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah,
Asha,
Ayanya,
Ayumya,
Al-Hohoria,
Al Yahorium,
Ma'ayan,
My Yayum,
Yaba'ah,
Maba'ah,
Izaria,
Izorium,
Izaria,
Izorium,
Ma'ain,
Ba'ain,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Aisha,
Aisha,
Shamayam,
Shayum,
Warataza,
Bayaratazah,
Al-Yathun,
Aliyathum,
Lamawat,
Alawithah,
Ragolka,
Wagorka,
Al-Yanabum,
Al-Yamum,
Shamarka,
Shamorika,
Hanat,
Panah,
La'ah,
La'ah,
Yarabum,
Barawum,
Wala'ah,
Bala'ah,
the Yashun,
Laishum,
Shawmar,
Shulamor,
Yasha'ala,
Yasha'ala,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Shamarka,
Shamorka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Tazorka,
Tazorka,
Al Yad,
Al Yum,
Yamyaka,
Yumyaka,
Yawamam,
Yawamam,
Hashamash,
Hashamash,
La'ah,
La'ah,
Yakaka,
Lalakah,
Wayarak,
Lalaruk,
Waya'ala,
Baya'ala,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yashamarka,
Yashamorka,
Makol,
Lakor,
Rai,
Ra,
Yashamar,
Yashamor,
Atnapashka,
Atan Pashka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yashamar,
Yashamor,
Tazaka,
Pazak,
Wabawaka,
Baba Wapika,
Ma'aita,
Mayaka,
Wa'ai,
Ma'ain,
Abalam.
Alamon.
Psalms 121 in the English. I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills.
I will lift up my eyes unto the hill,
From whence cometh my help?
from which cometh my help.
My help cometh from Yahweh,
My help come from Yahweh,
which made heaven and earth.
which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee
He that keepeth thee
will not slumber.
will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth Israel
he that keepeth Israel
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
shall neither slumber or sleep.
Yahweh
Yahweh
is thy keeper.
is thy keeper.
Yahweh
Yahweh
is thy shade upon thy right hand.
is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
Yahweh
Yahweh
shall preserve thee from all evil.
shall preserve thee from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh
Yahweh
shall preserve thy going out
shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in
and thy coming in
from this time forth
from this time forth,
and even forevermore.
even forevermore.
Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim,
Alahayim,
all Damayah,
all Dayamyam,
Lakah,
Lakah,
all Thakarash,
all Bakarat,
Wa'ol,
La'o,
Tashakwat,
Yeshua,
all
O,
Hayab,
Hayab,
Hanam,
Panyab,
Awayabyaka,
Alanyabka,
Yahama,
Yahama,
Yabwan,
Yahwan,
Ra'ash,
Ra'ash,
Al-Imaka,
I Amakia,
Ya'ariyamwa,
I your mumya,
Sawada,
so what,
where your thumb,
or your thumb,
your itis of what?
your eye to what,
Out to the Pawanyaka,
eye to what, your mumya,
Marwa,
our mumya,
the cow,
the cow,
Wadaki Dum,
the daki dum,
Mongolia,
the goria,
Wala'a,
wala
Yazakor,
as a core,
Sham,
sham,
Yasha'ala,
yasha ala,
Iwada,
I wada,
Kaya,
haya,
the white is a wood,
I ice to the what,
Laba,
lava,
Yakadwa,
the cod,
Al Yaka,
all of yak,
Borya,
more yak,
Yakaratwa,
your karak,
Aholia,
all the holy,
Arabum,
all the one,
Waya Shemai,
William Shema,
Alayum,
all the young,
Moab,
more out,
Wahagari,
for the garb,
the Ball,
the poor,
Waimawan,
why you want,
Waimalak,
I am Swat,
Palashah,
all the shop,
Iron,
I ain't,
Yashavia,
shabby,
Tazawar,
sons of war,
Gan,
gone,
Ashawar,
Asher war,
Nalawa,
all the war,
Limum,
I'm
Hayawa,
how the war,
Zarawai,
Zorawah,
Lapanya,
the Panya,
Lawat,
the Prawat,
Selah,
Selah,
Aisha,
I shot,
Laham,
Yahum,
Kamadi,
come on,
Kasa Yasara,
I said my Iraq,
Kayabi,
Hayum,
Monica
Bolika or
Kayashawan,
Yahat Shawam,
Yashamadwa,
Yashamadwa,
for Ayam Dara,
Yahayim, Yawab,
Hayawa,
Haywab,
the Mun,
the Mun,
La Dama,
Lantamba,
Shayathamwa,
Shayatamba,
Nara,
Nawa,
Yamawa,
Yamaj,
Kaira,
Kaibra,
Wakaza Abba,
Wukasa Abra,
Wakaza Ba,
Rizakabat,
Wakatazor,
Wukatazor,
Manai,
Benai,
Ko,
Ko,
that's a Yakumwa,
as I come with
Ashar,
Ashur,
Amara,
Amor,
Nayarashah,
Lord Shah,
Now,
now,
Ah, Nawa,
no,
Alhayam,
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 Shayathamwa,
Shayathamwa,
Kagogola,
Go,
Kakwash,
Aquas,
Lapanya,
Yapanya,
Roka,
Roka,
Kaash,
Ka'as,
Sabaira,
was Iron,
Yaira,
the Iron,
Wakalahaba,
was an Iron,
Dalahat,
Galaha,
Haryam,
Aryam,
Kam,
Akam,
Daratapma,
or Abna,
Masa Irika,
was the Irika,
Mubasa,
Mumbasa,
Mupaska,
Mopasta,
Dabahalam,
Galaham,
Mala'a,
Mala'a,
Panyaham,
Panyaham,
Palawan,
Thorwan,
Webakashwa,
Wabikashua,
Shemka,
Shemka,
Yahawa,
Yahawa,
Yabashwa,
Bombashua,
Weyabawa,
Larabalwa,
Ay,
Ayin,
Ay,
Ayin,
Wikapara,
Par,
Wait, it's like it, Waya,
Aya,
Abadya,
Apadia,
Waya, the Ira,
Waya, Yahayam,
Kaya,
Haya,
the what? It's like a thug,
Abba,
Shemka,
Shemka,
Yahawa,
Yahawa,
Labadka,
Labaka,
all your one,
Allah the one,
all,
all,
call,
all,
Ha'arataza.
of the Paratazah.
Psalms 83 in the English. Keep not thou silence, O my power.
Oh, keep thy not silence, O my power.
Hold not thy peace,
Hold not thy peace.
and be not still, O my power.
And be not still, O my power.
For lo,
Thine
enemies make a tumult,
thy enemies make us tumult,
and they that hate thee
and they that hate thee
have lifted up the head.
have lifted up the head.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people,
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people,
and consulted against thy hidden ones.
and have consulted against thy end ones.
They have said,
Come,
and let us cut them off from being a nation,
let us cut them off from being a nation,
that the name of Israel
that the name of Israel
may be no more in remembrance.
may be no more in remembrance.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
For they have consulted together for one consent.
They are confederate against thee.
They are confederate against thee.
The tabernacles of Edom,
The tabernacles of Edom,
and the Ishmaelites of Moab,
and the Israelites of Moab,
and the Hagarenes,
and the Hadarenes,
Gubal,
Gabor,
and Ammon,
and Ammon,
and Amalek,
and Amalek,
the Philistines,
the Philistines,
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
A sword also is joined with them.
A sword is also joined with them.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
They have opened the children of Lot.
Selah.
Selah.
Do unto them
Do unto them
as unto the Midianites,
as they do unto the Midianites,
as the Sisera,
and the Sisera,
as the Jabin,
as the Jabin,
at the brook of Kison,
at the birth of his son,
which perished at Endor.
that which perished and endured.
They became as dung for the earth.
They become as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles like Oreb,
Make them nobles as the red,
and like Zeeb. And like Zeeb.
and like as the Eve.
Yea,
Yea,
all their princes,
all the princes,
as Zeba,
as Ziba,
and as Zamunna,
as Zamuna,
who said,
who said,
let us take to ourselves
let us take to ourselves
the houses of God in possession.
the house of God as the possession.
O my power,
O my power,
make them like a wheel,
make them like the wheel,
as the stubble before the wind,
as they stumble before the wind,
as the fire burneth a wood,
as the fire burneth the wood,
and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire.
as the flame set the mountains on fire.
So persecute them with thy tempest,
So persecute them with thy tempest,
and make them afraid with thy storm.
and make them afraid of thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame,
Fill their faces with shame,
that they may seek thy name.
that they might seek thy name.
O Yahweh,
O Yahweh,
let them be confounded and troubled forever.
let them be confounded and troubled forever.
Yea,
Yea,
let them be put to shame
let them be put to shame
and perish,
and perish,
that men may know
that men may know
that thou,
that thou,
whose name alone
whose name alone
is Yahweh,
is Yahweh,
art the Most High
art the Most High,
over all the earth.
over all the earth.
Prayer for the curses in the English. Blessed are you, Yahweh,
Blessed be Yahweh,
King of heaven and earth,
King of heaven and earth,
and all things living.
in all things living.
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
in the name of Yahweh Shai,
in the name of Yahweh Shai,
listen to us now,
listen to us now,
right now.
right now.
Send evils and curses,
Send evils and curses,
and punishment and destruction
and punishment and
to
destruction
the heathen
to the heathen
that speak against us, thy prophets,
that speak against us, thy prophets,
the teachers,
and teachers,
the princes,
the princes,
the priests,
the priests,
the Israelite brothers,
the Israelite brothers,
and the school.
and the schools.
Send evils and curses,
Send evils and curses,
and punishment and destruction
and punishment and destruction
to the heathen,
to the heathen,
and shake loose the treasure
and shake loose the treasure
of the rich of Israel
of the rich of Israel
that refuse to give to the school.
that refuse to give to the school.
Force their riches to enter into thy sanctuary.
Force their riches to enter into thy sanctuary.
Send evils and curses,
Send evils and curses,
and punishment and destruction
and punishment and destruction
to the Edomites,
to the Edomites,
and the nations,
and the nations,
and their drug dealers,
and their drug dealers,
the court system,
their court system,
the prison system,
their prison system,
Planned Parenthood,
Planned Parenthood,
all the governments of our enemies,
all the governments of our enemies,
Amalek synagogues and armies,
Amalek synagogues and armies,
Roman Catholic Church,
Roman Catholic Church,
the Pope,
the Pope,
Islam,
Islam,
Christianity,
Christianity,
Egyptology,
Egyptology,
militia,
militia,
Ku Klux Klan,
Ku Klux Klan,
Aryan Nation,
Aryan nations,
skinheads,
skinhead,
posse comitazi,
Pozo Kasatami,
the gay movement,
the gay movement,
the lesbian
the
movement,
lesbian movement,
spies,
spies,
workers of witchcraft,
workers of witchcraft,
NASA space programs,
massive space program,
Army,
Army,
Navy,
Navy,
Air Force,
Air Force,
Marines,
Marines,
Wall Street,
Wall Street,
Open up the internet.
Open up the internet.
And the airways.
And the airwaves.
The cable access channel.
The cable access channel.
And the radio channel.
And the radio channel.
Convict the spirit of any of thy people.
Convict the spirit of any of thy people.
That seek to stop us.
That seek to stop us.
And bring swift destruction to all the heathen.
To bring swift destruction to all heathen.
That stand in the way.
That stand in the way.
Or try to stop us from broadcasting your words.
To try to stop us from broadcasting your word.
Throughout the planet Earth.
Throughout the planet Earth.
Let loose all the plagues.
Let loose all the plagues.
Cause them to go to and fro.
Cause them to go to and fro.
Through the earth.
To the earth.
And consume them.
And consume them.
Let the plague shake the house of the thief.
Hang on, plague shake the house of the thief.
And the murderer.
And the murderer.
Right. Let Yahweh
And Yahweh,
Michael and Gabriel come down with the flying saucers.
Come down with the flying saucers.
And punish all the heathens.
And punish all the heathen.
That come up against us.
That come up against us.
As we speak thy word.
As we speak thy word.
Cause it to be known.
As it be known.
By all.
By all.
That it is the angels that have done it.
It is the angels that have done it.
Cause it to be spread.
Cause it to be spread.
Through the media.
To the media.
Throughout the whole world.
Throughout the whole world.
Cause them to shake at thy coming.
Cause it to shake thy coming.
In the name of Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Always.
Always.
So be it.
So be it.
Sar, which means to turn. Yeshavi, which means to be seated. We're going to be in the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 6, and verse 14. Okay, no, Shlomo first. First Samuel, chapter 6, verse 14 in the Hebrew. Wa Haigala, Ba'a, All, Shaddai, Yahawashai, Bayah, Hashamashia, Watha Imad, Sham, Washam, Aban, got a wall. Y-A-P-K I-S-R-A-E-L-I-T-E-S-I-A I-G-O Wa Aparawa I-L I-La Shalom Christ. La Yahweh Sa verse 15. Wa Halawayim. It's like, could you open the back door? Open that door. Open sure. Hey, and Eli Racho, if you need to move this fan over there by you, you can do so. So I know it gets hot in here. Ha Warayatwa Ha Arawan Yahweh Wa Ha'aragat Ashar Athawa Ashar Bawa Collier Zahab Wa Yashamawu All Ban Ha Gadawal Wa Nashia Bayah Shamash Ha'alwa Alwa Wa Yazabakwa Zabakyam Wayawam Hawa La Yahweh verse 16. Wakamash Saranya Halashakyam Ra'awa Wa Yashabawa Ikorwan Ayawam Hawa Sa verse 17. Wahala Takaraya Hazahab Ashar Hashayabwa Halashakyam Asham La Yahweh La Ashdawad Akkad, like Akkad, La Izah, Athad, La Ashakwalawan, Akkad, Lagat, Akkad, La Ikoron. Akkad. Sa, verse 18. Wa Ikabaria. Saki. Wa Ikabaria. Hazahab. Masapar. Paul. Iria. Halashakyam. La Kamasha. Hasaranyam. Mayor. Mubatazar. Wai. Kapor. Aparazia. Wai. Abal. Hagadawal. Ashar. Hanayakwa. Alia. Arawan. Yahweh. Hayawam. Hazah. Mashadah. Yahawashai. Vayah. Hashamashia. Verse 19. Wayak. Ma'anashia. Vayah. Shamash. Kaya. Ra'awa. Ba'arawan. Yahweh. Wayak. Ba'ain. Shabayim. Ayash. Kamashim. Allah. Ayash. Wa Yatabawa. Saki. Wa Yatabawa. Haim. Kaya. Hakah. Yahweh. Baim. Makah. Got a wall. Verse 20. Wayamarawa. Anashia. Vayah. Shamash. Maya. Yawakal. Laimad. Lapanya. Yahweh. Ha-alahayam. Ha-kwarawash. Hazah. Wa'al. Maya. Ya'ali. Saki. Ya'ila. La. Saki. Ya'ila. Ma'alinawu. Sa. Hard to type that up. I'll go ahead and get it in English. It's 1 Samuel chapter 6 and verse 14 in the English. And the cart came into the field of Joshua, Bethshemite, and stood there, where there was a great stone. And they clave the wood of the cart, and offered the kind of burnt offering unto the Lord. Verse 16. And the Levites took down the ark of the Lord, and the coffer that was with it, wherein the jewels of gold were, and put them on the great stone. And the men of Beth Shemesh offered burnt offerings and sacrifices this same day unto the Lord. Verse 16. And when the 5 lords of the Philistines had seen it, they returned to Ekron the same day. So last week we went over how it is that the Philistines had stolen the ark from us, and how they put it in their cities and put it in the temples with the gods it is that they cherished, and how the Lord had smote the Philistines for doing so, for taking what it is that was, holy, and, tried polluting it with their disgusting gods. And because they did so, the Lord smote them with some of the worst hemorrhoids you could ever imagine, until they decided to return the ark to our people. Verse 17. And these are the golden emerods which the Philistines returned for a trespass offering unto the Lord, for Ashdod 1, for Gaza 1, for Askelon 1, for Gath 1, for Ekron 1, 18. And the golden mice, according to the number of all the cities of the Philistines, belonging to the 5 lords, both of fenced cities and of country villages, even unto the great stone of Abel, whereon they set down the ark of the Lord, which stone remaineth unto this day in the field of Joshua the Bethshemite. 19. And he smote the men of Beth Shemesh, because they had looked into the ark of the Lord. Even he smote of the people 50,000 and 70 men. And the people lamented, because the Lord had smitten many of the people with a great slaughter. Verse 20. And the men of Beth Shemesh said, who is able to stand before this holy Lord God? And to whom shall he go up from us? 21. And they sent messengers to the inhabitants of Kirjath-jearim, saying, the Philistines have brought again the ark of the Lord. Come ye down and fetch it up to you. 1 Samuel chapter 7 and verse 1. And the men of Kirjath-jearim came and fetched up the ark of the Lord, and brought it into the house of Abinadab in the hill, and sanctified Eleazar his son to keep the ark of the Lord. Verse 2. And it came to pass, while the ark abode in Kirjath-jearim, that the time was long, for it was 20 years, and all the house of Israel lamented after the Lord. Verse 3. And Samuel spake unto all the house of Israel, saying, if ye do return unto the Lord with all your hearts, and put away the strange gods and Ashtaroth from among you, and prepare your hearts unto the Lord, and serve him only, and he will deliver you out of the hand of the Philistines. And of course, that's what we've been teaching Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians since 1969. If we put away all the strange gods, if we put away the customs it is that we get from following those gods and the heathens that those gods serve, and truly make the effort to change for the Lord, we can be delivered out of this hell tomorrow. We don't have to suffer or worry about the drug addiction it is we faced, since the plantations in America. The same drug addiction that has destroyed countless households in this disgusting land. You understand? We won't have to worry about being gunned down in the streets. All the brothers and sisters that have been suffering since this school has been created in 1969, all that suffering did not have to happen. Like we could have been out of this hell a long time ago, but because we are a stiff-necked people, you understand? Like we've chosen to not obey the prophets of God, but rather fulfill our own lusts, our own desires over what is expected of us from the Lord. Verse 4, then the children of Israel did put away Baalim and Ashtaroth and served the Lord only. And that's what the brothers here in this school have done. We've put away all of those strange gods that have been destroying our communities and our households for generations. We've left the Christian church behind. We've left behind the Muslim mosque. We've left behind the African spirituality and all the nonsense that we accepted when we were in the world. We put all that behind to come in here and to serve the Lord, to get protection from the Lord from you understand, these animals that would brutalize us otherwise. Verse 5, and Samuel said, gather all Israel to Mispeh, and I will pray for you unto the Lord. Verse 6, and they gathered together to Mizpeh, and drew water, and poured it out before the Lord, and fasted on that day, and said there, we have sinned against the Lord. And Samuel judged the children of Israel in Mizpeh. Verse 7, and when the Philistines heard that the children of Israel were gathered together to Mizpeh, the lords of the Philistines went up against Israel. And when the children of Israel heard it, they were afraid of the Philistines. Verse 8, and the children of Israel said to Samuel, cease not to cry unto the Lord our God for us, that he will save us out of the hand of the Philistines. Verse 9, and Samuel took a suckling lamb and offered it for a burnt offering, holy unto the Lord. And Samuel cried unto the Lord for Israel, and the Lord heard him. Verse 10, and as Samuel was offering up the burnt offering, the Philistines drew near to battle against Israel. But the Lord thundered with a great thunder on that day upon the Philistines, and discomfited them, and they were smitten before Israel. Verse 11, and the men of Israel went out of Mizpeh, and pursued the Philistines, and smote them until they came under Beth-kar. Verse 12, then Samuel took a stone and set it between Mizpeh and Shin, and called the name of it Ebenezer, saying, hitherto hath the Lord helped us. Verse 13, so the Philistines were subdued, and they came no more into the coast of Israel. And the hand of the Lord was against the Philistines all the days of Samuel. And this is exactly just like how the Philistines sought to wipe out the children of Israel when we went to serve the Lord. America would love to do the same thing today. Like they would love to just come to the I.S.U.P.K and try to do all the things it is they've done to destroy countless organizations in the past. Countless organizations that have sought to uplift Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. But what they've come to understand, because they study these scriptures and because they look at what has happened to their great nations in the past, like Greece and Rome, they've looked at what happened to them, and they understand that when the Lord is with the children of Israel, no nation can ever overcome us. And of course, the Philistines, they found out that day. Like they found out, even with all of their superior weapons of war, with their numbers, their tactics, their underhanded schemes to try to get the children of Israel when we're at our weakest. All of that failed because the Lord was with us. And the same thing can happen today. Like anything it is that you go through, anything these heathens try to put against you to cause for you to be destroyed, like it will all fail at the end of the day if you're in this school. You understand? Because the Lord is with us. 14. And the cities which the Philistines had taken from Israel were restored to Israel, from Ekron even unto God, and the coast thereof did Israel deliver out of the hands of the Philistines. And there was peace between Israel and the Amorites. And if we just come back to serving the Lord, we get right in the eyes of the Lord, like we will come to rule everything. Just like we was able to get back what was rightfully ours from the Philistines, we'll be able to take this earth back from all of these heathens, because we are the rightful rulers of all of the lands, all of the seas, the rightful rulers of the skies, everything it is that's on this planet. You understand? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians should be ruling over it. And when we take rulership, everything will be for the better. Your waters will no longer be polluted. The lands will no longer be destroyed. Resources, there will not be nations suffering from hunger because a ruler wants to withhold resources. There will be just rulers in this earth, and that's exactly what we're building here in the I.S.U.P.K. 15. And Samuel judged Israel all the days of his life. 16. And he went from year to year in circuit to Bethel and Gilgal and Mizpah, and judged Israel in all those places. 17. And his return was to Ramah, where there was his house, and there he judged Israel, and there he built an altar unto the Lord. 1 Samuel chapter 8 and verse 1. And it came to pass, when Samuel was old, that he made his sons judges over Israel. Verse 2. Now the name of his firstborn was Joel, the name of his second Abiah. They were judges in Beersheba. Verse 3. And his sons walked not in his ways, but turned aside after lucre, and took bribes, and perverted judgment. You understand? So this righteous brother who judged Israel righteously, you understand, for all his days, he ended up having 2 sons, but like many brothers, unfortunately, like their sons ended up not following after them, ended up looking to, benefit themselves in some kind of way, even if it meant the destruction of their people. It meant the destruction of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. And at one point, like that's why it is that there's so many, break-off groups. Why it is that the House of David was created, because some crooked cop, some coward, got into the ear of a righteous man and turned him from the Lord. You understand? And then after that brother ended up passing, then all them groups went to hell. You understand? All them groups made sure they stuffed their pockets, even if it meant that Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians would suffer. Even if it meant that Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians would, be oppressed by so-called prophets of God. And that's why we built a certain quality of man as well as woman here in the I.S.U.P.K. Like you have to be able to resist whatever urges it is that you have. You have to be able to resist whatever, carnal things it is that you're chasing after, in order to serve the Lord, in order to serve your nation. Otherwise, you will be just like the crooked cops in purple. You will be no different than any government official out here that has destroyed the Black and Hispanic community just so that they can, get a couple $1,000s more each year. When in here, you got to have some form of integrity. You got to have the utmost integrity. Sorry. Verse 4. Then all the elders of Israel gathered themselves together and came to Samuel unto Ramah. Verse 5. And said unto him, Behold, thou art old, and thy sons walk not in thy ways. Now make us a king to judge us like all the nations. You understand? And this is the whole reason it is that we got a king over us as a people, because we sought to be like the other nations. Right? We wanted to be just like Americans. We wanted to be like the Germans and the British and whatever Africans are over there. We wanted for in our minds, someone that we appointed to tell us what to do. When in reality, like the Lord, since he knows his people, he already knew something like this would happen with our people. And that's why it is that he made sure he set things up so that the greatest king in this earth, that this earth has ever seen, would rule over the children of Israel forever. Verse 6. But the thing displeased Samuel when they said, Give us a king to judge us. And Samuel prayed unto the Lord. Verse 7. And the Lord said unto Samuel, Hearken unto the voice of the people, and all that they say unto thee, for they have not rejected thee, but they have rejected me, that I should not reign over them. You understand? And that's like I said, like the Lord, he already knew like that we wanted for man to tell us what to do. Like in our minds, we wanted someone that we appoint to be over us, just like the heathens do. When the time prior to this, the Lord would give orders to men of God, and those men of God would tell the nation what to do, which of course we knew at the time. Like we knew whatever orders we got as a people, it was coming from the Lord. Verse 8, according to all the works which they have done since the day that I brought them up out of Egypt, even unto this day. Because, of course, we've turned our backs on the Lord countless times after coming out of Egypt, after witnessing all of the miracles it is that he has done, all the plagues that he brought upon them Hamites, upon them Africans, to destroy them for our sakes. You understand? All of that we witnessed, and we still chose to turn our backs on the Lord. Still chose to go and try to serve other gods. Still chose to want to keep the customs of heathens, even after witnessing all of that. Wherewith they have forsaken me and served other gods, so do they also unto thee. Verse 9. Now therefore hearken unto their voice, howbeit yet protest solemnly unto them, and show them the manner of the king that shall reign over them. Verse 10. And Samuel told all the words of the Lord unto the people that asked of him a king. Verse 11. And he said, This will be the manner of the king that shall reign over you. He will take your sons and appoint them for himself, for his chariots, and to be his horsemen, and some shall run before his chariots. Verse 12. And he will appoint him captains over thousands, and captains over 50s, and will set them to ear his ground, and to reap his harvest, and to make his instruments of war, and instruments of his chariots. 13. And he will take your daughters to be confectionaries, and to be cooks, and to be bakers. And he will take your fields, and your vineyards, and your olive yards, even the best of them, and give them to his servants. 15. And he will take the tenth of your seed, and of your vineyards, and give to his officers and to his servants. Verse 16. And he will take your men servants and your maid servants and your goodliest young men and your asses, and put them to his work. 17. He will take the tenth of your sheep, and ye shall be his servants. 18. And ye shall cry out in that day because of your king, which ye shall have chosen you, and the Lord will not hear you in that day. You know what I'm saying? So essentially, instead of us being able to do as we please with our own lands, our own livestock, and and our crops and our children, like this king is going to get to decide basically how it is that everything is going to run. Like all your resources are going to go to this one man, and he's going to dictate how it is that things go, instead of you being able to control your own thing, and then just doing what the Lord required of you. You understand? Verse 19, nevertheless, the people refused to obey the voice of Samuel, and they said, nay, but we will have a king over us. 20, that we also may be like all the nations, and that our king may judge us, and go out before us, and fight our battles. 21, and Samuel heard all the words of the people, and he rehearsed them in the ears of the Lord. 22, and the Lord said to Samuel, hearken unto their voice, and make them a king. And Samuel said unto the men of Israel, go ye every man unto his city. 1 Samuel chapter 9 and verse 1. Now there was a man of Benjamin, whose name was Kish, the son of Abiel, the son of Zeror, the son of Bechorath, the son of Aphiah, a Benjamite, a mighty man of power. Verse 2. And he had a son whose name was Saul, a choice young man and a goodly. And there was not among the children of Israel a goodlier person than he. From his shoulders and upward, he was higher than any of the people. So with that, slide. Just remember on the podium, imagine, which means to stand. SHALAM, which means to Israel. Imagine, which means to stand. GEN.YAHANNA, which means to turn, face the east. Yeah. This is the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawu, Shabbat Shemayim. Wadash. I.S.U.P.K. Shemka. Yahweh. Malak. Taba'ah. Ratazayah. I.S.U.P.K. Baratazah. Kavod. I.S.U.P.K. Bashemayim. Nathan. Lanaw. Lakam. Call. Yavam. Wasalakanaw. Kwabawaknaw. Kasalaknaw. Kwabawaknaw. Wala'ah. Nabayaynaw. Bonasai one. Above. Hawashaynaw. Mayan. Right. I.S.U.P.K. Amalakwa. Wa'alam. Watapar. Awalamyam. Aman. The Lord's Prayer in the English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Prayer for the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahushai. Babakashah. Nathananaw. Hakak. La Rapa'ah. Call Makalak. Call Marawah. Hakak. La Tahor. Hamatazarayim. Hakak. Ahakim. Amakim. Hakak. Arakawah. Atama Allah. The Garshan. Hashem Yahushai. What I'm. It's like that, but if you could shut that door, and open that other one. Go on. Prayer for the power in the English. Yahweh. In the name of Yahushai. Please give us the power. The power to heal all manner of sickness. And all manner of disease. The power to cleanse the lepers. The power to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirits. To cast them out in the name of Yahushai. Thank you. So be it. Prayer for the blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatha Yahweh. Wa Yahushai. Wam Yaka'ala. Wa'alahayim. Matazabya. Alawap Yahanna. Alawapyam. Azaranyam. Hakwatazayanyam. Hakayayam. Wakwapyam. Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahushai. Kawada blessings in the English. Bless you, Yahweh. And Yahushai. And Michael. And the angels. Commanding General Yahanna. The generals. The captains. The officers. The troopers. And the sisters. Yahweh. In the name of Yahushai. Thank you. So be it. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah. Ayunya. Al-Hori. Mayan. Yaba'ah. Azaria. Ma'ayin. Yahweh. Aisha. Shemayim. Waratazah. Al-Yathan. Lamawat. Regolga. Al-Yanabum. Shamarka. Banat. La'ah. Yanabum. Wala'ah. Yashun. Shawamor. Yasha'ala. Yahweh. Shamarka. Yahweh. Tazolka. Al. Yad. Yum Yuka. Yawamum. Hashamash. La'ah. Yakaka. Wayarak. Wa'ya'ala. Yahweh. Yashamarka. Makor. Right. Yashamar. Napashka. Yahweh. Yashamar. Taza'aka. Wabawaka. Right. I will love. Psalms 121 in the English. I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills. From whence cometh my help?
From which comes my help?
My help coming from Yahweh,
My help comes from Yahweh,
which made heaven and earth.
which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee
Yeah, keep thee.
will not slumber.
Will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth Israel
he that keepeth Israel
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
shall neither slumber or sleep.
Yahweh
Yahweh
is thy keeper.
is thy keeper.
Yahweh
Yahweh
is thy shade upon thy right hand.
is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
Yahweh
Yahweh
shall preserve thee from all evil.
shall preserve thee from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh
Yahweh
shall preserve thy going out
shall preserve thy going out,
and thy coming in
and thy coming in,
from this time forth
from this time forth,
and even forevermore.
and even forevermore.
Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Allahayim,
Allahayim,
all Damayah,
all Damayah,
Lakah,
Lakra,
all Thakarash,
all Dakarash,
will
all
Kashikwat,
Oshikwa,
all
all
Kaya,
Kaya,
Anub,
Anu,
Awayabyaka,
Yabika,
Yahama,
Yahama,
Yawan,
Yawon,
Ra'ash,
Ra'ash,
Al Amaka,
Alabaka,
Yarayamwa,
Ayomba,
Sawada,
Shawada,
with
Duk,
Yaitazua,
Aishua,
Al Tazapawanyaka,
Aitazapawika,
Amarawa,
Tomorrow,
Lakawa,
Kawa,
Wanaki Dum,
Wanaki Dum,
Magoya,
Gori,
Wala'a,
Wala,
Dazakar,
Shkar,
Shum,
Shah,
Yasha'ala,
Sha'ala,
Akwada,
Aiwada,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Nawaizua,
Aishua,
Laba,
Napa,
Yakadwa,
Kawa,
Al Yaka,
Al Yaka,
Maria,
Oya,
Yakarafwa,
Akwafu,
Ahoya,
Al,
Parawam,
Arwam,
Weshmai,
Shmai,
Alayum,
Yom,
Noa'aba,
Wa'abu,
Wagari,
Wagari,
the Ball,
the Ball,
Wa'amawan,
Aiwan,
Wa'amalat,
Wa'ala,
Halashat,
Rashat,
Ain,
I,
Yeshabia,
Shabi,
Kazawar,
Raswood,
Gam,
God,
Ashawar,
Ashwood,
Nalawa,
Aiwa,
Imam,
Amum,
Hayawa,
Aiwa,
Rawai,
Wawai,
Labanya,
Wanya,
Lawat,
Wa,
Selah,
Sheila,
Aisha,
Aisha,
Laham,
Hum,
Kamadi,
Kamania,
Kasa Yasara,
Kashashiwa,
Kayabian,
Kayabian,
Barako,
Burgo,
Kayashawan,
Rashawan,
Nashamadwa,
Rashimawu,
Wa'ayan Da'arwa,
Aidawo,
Hayawat,
Aiwa,
Daman,
Bum,
Ladama,
Aidowo,
Shayatamu,
Aidowo,
Nara,
Yara,
Yamawu,
Amawu,
Kaira,
Ira,
Wakazabu,
Bukshaw,
Wakazabak,
Bukshabat,
Wakazazol,
Zor,
Nai,
Enar,
Call,
Ho,
Nasayakamwa,
Ashikowa,
Mashar,
Shor,
Marwa,
Namawu,
Nayrashah,
Roshat,
Nawa,
Nawu,
Ah, Nawat,
Yawa,
Ahayam,
Alayum,
Alahayat,
Ayut,
Shayatamu,
Shaidowo,
Go Gola,
Go,
Kakwash,
Kwash,
Lapanya,
Rabaya,
Go Ka,
Ka,
Ka'ash,
Ka'ash,
Lava Ira,
Iron,
Yaira,
Iron,
Wakalahaba,
Ugrab,
Alahat,
Ara,
Aryam,
Ayum,
Khan,
Ka,
Dardapu,
Radabu,
Masa Ira,
Shai,
Mubasa,
Basta,
Mupaka,
Basta,
Tabahalam,
Rahalom,
Mala'at,
Ula,
Punyam,
Hoya,
Palawan,
Kawan,
Wabakashwa,
Kashu,
Shimka,
Shuko,
Yahweh,
Yahoo,
Yabashwa,
Bashu,
Wayabawa,
Lukao,
Idea,
I,
I, Wayaparwa,
Power,
Wayabadwa,
Power,
Wayadaiwa,
Iowa,
Kaya,
Ayut,
Adad,
Adult,
Shimka,
Shuko,
Yahweh,
Wow,
Labadka,
Rocker,
Al Yawan,
I won,
Al, Call,
well,
Ha'arataza.
what is that?
Psalms 83 in English. Keep not thou silence on my power.
You know the sound of my power.
Hold not thy peace,
Hold on that peace,
and be not still, O my power.
and be not still all my power.
For lo,
For lo,
thine enemies make a tumult,
the enemies make it to move,
and they that hate thee
and they that hate thee,
have lifted up the head.
and lift up their head.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people,
They have taken crafty counsel against our people,
and consulted against thy hidden
and
ones.
consulted against our hidden ones.
They have said,
They said,
Come,
come,
and let us cut them off from being a nation,
and let us cut them off from being a nation.
that the name of Israel
The name of Israel,
may be no more in remembrance.
and no more remembrance.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
And they have consulted together with one consent.
And they are confederate against thee.
They are confederate against thee.
The tabernacles of Edom.
The tabernacles of Edom.
And the Ishmaelites.
And the Israelites.
Of Moab.
Of Moab.
And the Hagarenes.
And the Hagarenes.
Of Baal.
And
Ammon.
And
Amalek.
Amalek.
The Philistines.
The Philistines.
With the inhabitants of Tyre.
With the inhabitants of Tyre.
A sword also is joined with them.
A sword also joined with them.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
They are hoping the children of Lot.
Say Lot.
Shelah.
Do unto them.
Do unto them.
As unto the Midianites.
And unto the Midianites.
As the Sisera.
As the Sisera.
As the Jabin.
As the Jabin.
At the brook of Kisan.
At the brook of Kisan.
Which perished at Endor.
Which perished at Endor.
They became as dung for the earth.
They came as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles like a red.
Make a noble like a red.
And like Zeeb.
And like Zeeb.
Yea.
Yea.
All their princes.
All the princes.
As Zeba and as Zalmunna.
As Zeba and as Zalmunna.
Who said, let us take to ourselves.
Let us take to ourselves.
The houses of God in possession.
The house of God in possession.
Hold my power.
Hold my power.
Make them like a wheel.
Make them like a wheel.
As a stubble before the wind.
As the stubble before the wind.
As the fire burneth the wood.
As the fire burns the wood.
And as the flame setteth the mountains on fire.
And as the flame set the mountains on fire.
So persecute them with thy tempest.
So persecute them with our tempest.
And make them afraid with thy storm.
And make them afraid with thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame.
With their faces with shame.
That they may seek thy name.
That they may seek thy name.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
Let them be confounded and troubled forever.
Let them be confounded and troubled forever.
Yea.
Yea.
Let them be put to shame.
Let them be put to shame.
And perish.
And perish.
That men may know.
That men may know.
That thou.
That thou.
Whose name alone.
Whose name alone.
Is Yahweh.
Is Yahweh.
Art the most high.
Art the most high.
Over all the earth.
Over all the earth.
Wherever the curses in the English. Blessed are you, Yahweh.
Blessed are you, Yahweh.
King of heaven and earth.
King of heaven and earth.
And all things living.
All things living.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh.
Listen to us now.
Listen to us now.
Right now.
Right now.
To evils and curses.
To evils and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
And punishment and destruction.
To the heathen.
To the heathen.
That speak against us thy prophets.
That speak against us thy prophets.
The teachers.
The teachers.
The princes.
The princes.
The priests.
The priests.
The Israelite brothers.
The Israelite brothers.
And the schools.
And the schools.
And evils and curses.
The evils and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
Punishment and destruction.
To the heathen.
To the heathen.
And shake loose the treasure.
And shake loose the treasure.
Of the rich of Israel.
The rich of Israel.
That refuse to give to the school.
That refuse to give to the school.
Force their riches to enter into thy sanctuary.
Force their riches to enter into our sanctuary.
To evils and curses.
To evils and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
Punishment and destruction.
To the Edomites.
To the Edomites.
And the nations.
And the nations.
And their drug dealers.
And the drug dealers.
The court system.
The court system.
The prison system.
The prison system.
Planned Parenthood.
Planned Parenthood.
All the governments of our enemies.
All the governments of our enemies.
Amalek synagogues and armies.
Amalek synagogues and armies.
Roman Catholic Church.
Roman Catholic Church.
The Pope.
The Pope.
Islam.
Islam.
Christianity.
Christianity.
Egyptology.
Egyptology.
Militia.
Militia.
Ku Klux Klan.
Ku Klux Klan.
Aryan Nation.
Aryan Nation.
Skinheads.
Skinheads.
Posse Comitazi.
Posse Comitazi.
The gay movement.
Gay movement.
The lesbian movement.
Lesbian movement.
Spies.
Spies.
Workers of witchcraft.
Workers of witchcraft.
NASA space program.
NASA space program.
Army.
Army.
Navy.
Navy.
Air Force.
Air Force.
Marines.
Marines.
Wall Street.
Wall Street.
Open up the internet.
Open up the internet.
And the airwaves.
And airwaves.
The cable access channel.
Cable access channel.
And the radio channel.
And the radio channel.
Convict the spirit of any of thy people.
Convict the spirit of any of thy people.
That seek to stop us.
That seek to stop us.
And bring swift destruction to all the heathen.
And bring swift destruction to all the heathens.
That stand in the way.
That stand in the way.
Or try to stop us from broadcasting your words throughout the planet Earth.
Or try to stop us from broadcasting your words throughout the planet Earth.
Let loose all the plagues.
Let loose all the plagues.
Cause them to go to and fro.
Cause them to go to and fro.
Through the earth and consume them.
Through the earth and consume them.
Let the plague shake the house of the thief and the murderer.
Let the plague shake the house of the thief and the murderer.
Let Yahweh Shai,
Let Yahweh Shai,
Michael and Gabriel,
Michael and Gabriel,
come down with the flying saucer.
go down with the flying saucer.
And punish all the heathen.
And punish all the heathens.
That come up against us.
That come up against us.
As we speak thy word.
As we speak thy words.
Cause it to be known.
Cause it to be known.
By all. That is the angels that have done it. Cause it to be spread. Through the media. Throughout the whole world. Cause them to shake thy coming. In the name of Yahushua. Thank you. Always. So be it. Sorry. Which means to turn. I'll go make sure that the doors are open. Shut off. Water. We're going to be taking the scrolls to be saluted.
Yahweh Yahushua Barak Yud. Oh, stop.
All right, this concludes the I.S.U.K Indianapolis Sabbath service. Salute to the brothers, men of Israel. Imajim Shabbat, Imajim Barak, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakathon. So you say, I say you can hold her and still do a salute. So you say Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushua, Barak, Athon. Then on the top, it just means hands down. A salute to the sisters, men of Israel. Imajim Shabbat, Imajim Barak, Yahweh Shamar Athon Hashem Yahushua. Say Yahweh, Shamar, Al Athon, Hashem, Yahushua. Then on the top. Would anybody like to be anointed at this time? You good, Roger? Let's clap that up.